Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast, this time talking about the Ninth Doctor. I can't call him the War Doctor, I just can't. Please let me just call him the Ninth Doctor. Start again. This time talking about the Hurt Doctor. See what I did there? Because he's like in pain, but he's also the War Doctor. The Hurt Doctor in his only appearance outside of TV, The Engines of War, by George Mann. I won't butcher George Mann's work by doing a reading. There is a theory of reviewing out there where basically all reviews are the same thing. They're saying, and I'm sure you've heard me say this before, if you like this sort of thing, then you'll really like this sort of thing. But if you don't like this sort of thing, then you won't like this sort of thing. And yes, that's true of, well, every review in the world. However, George Mann's written a particularly good book here. There's no getting away from it. It's ended up in the Times bestseller list, and you know what? There's a reason it has. It's very, very well written. And it's not just because we all wanted a War Doctor book. No, we don't just need a picture of John Hurt with a sonic screwdriver on the front of a book on our shelves, although admittedly it is a thing of beauty. This is about as close to the Time War as we're ever going to get. I know I keep saying that, don't I? And I am sorry. But let's face it, everyone's danced around the Time War so much that, well, this is just an extra bonus. This is very near the end of his time as the Doctor, set almost immediately before the fall of Gallifrey, immediately before the events that we see on the TV. This is a worn-out, haggard old Doctor, and yes, he is the Doctor in this. There is no getting away from it. He calls himself, he even says at the beginning that they used to call him the Doctor. Other Time Lords refer to him as that. It's as if he only gave up the name after he'd pressed the button and thought he'd taken out his entire people. Well, fair enough. As far as I'm concerned, that just means more credibility to the argument that he is actually the Doctor. So, this Ninth Doctor, this John Hurt Doctor. What's the plot? Well, rather than give you spoilers, let me read from the blurb, the sort of thing you'd read in the bookshop. The Great Time War has raged for centuries, ravaging the universe. Scores of human colony planets are now overrun by Dalek occupation. A wary, angry Doctor leads a flotilla of battle TARDISes against the Dalek stronghold, but in the midst of the carnage, the Doctor's TARDIS crashes into the planet below, Moldox. As the Doctor is trapped in an apocalyptic landscape, Dalek patrols roam amongst the wreckage, rounding up the remaining civilians. But why haven't the Daleks simply killed the humans? Searching for answers, the Doctor meets Cinder, a young Dalek hunter. Their struggles to discover the Dalek plans take them to the ruins of Moldox, the halls of Gallifrey, and set in motion a chain of events that will change everything and everyone. It describes itself as an epic novel, and it truly is. It's well written, well crafted, the characterisation is spot on. You can not just spot the Hurt Doctor, but you can spot flashes of other Doctors as well. You can hear John Hurt's voice, which is a major thing when it comes to writing, when we had so little time of this Doctor on screen. The Daleks, as always, no, actually they're not as always at all. Things that have been mentioned in passing on TV, like the degradations of Skaro, they're all honed, polished, and presented to us in a way that makes us go, I want to see that. These are brilliant Daleks. You can hear Nick Briggs pulling off something magical. Well, yeah, it's a great book. I can't say anything bad against it. Just go and get it. So with that, I'll fade away and come back and talk about Doctor Who again very, very soon. So until next time, be seeing you. You've been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who and its connected properties are copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. Whostrology, a Time Traveller's Almanac, is available through Telos Publishing or Amazon. Visit www.whostrology.com for further information. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.